Hey everyone, welcome back to Seamless Stitches. In this video I will be showing you how to crochet this little chocolate chip cookie plush. This is a really simple and fun tutorial made for complete beginners, so don't worry, this is a really easy tutorial to follow. So let's get right into the video. So the materials I'm going to be using in this video are two different colors of yarn. For this video I'm going to be doing a chocolate cookie with white chocolate chips. And then you're also going to need a darning needle, a 6mm crochet hook, although it really depends on what kind of yarn you're using, a stitch marker, I highly recommend it, and a handful or two of stuffing. Now the first step to making this cookie is that you want to crochet a magic ring. If you know how to crochet a magic ring, you can do that. You can do however you do it, but this is how I like to do it. So I take my yarn and I wrap it around my two fingers like this. The yarn down here, then I flip my two fingers, I insert my hook under the first loop and then grab that second loop and then grab the yarn that's right over here. I take it and then I pull it through that loop, then I take the ring off my fingers, and then that is your magic ring. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to single crochet 8 into the ring. So here you want to insert your hook through the ring, take your yarn and pull it through, and then take your yarn, pull it through those two pull through those two loops, just like that. Then again, put our hook through, take our yarn, pull it through, then take our yarn, pull it through those two loops. Also, if you're confused with the stitches of crocheting, you can go check out my first video, which is where I show you 7 basic stitches in crocheting. This is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now from here you're going to tighten your magic ring by pulling this strand of yarn just like that, and then put your hook through that next put your hook through that next stitch, like your yarn, pull it through, and then take your yarn, pull it through those two loops. And that marks the beginning of our second round. Now here I like to put a stitch marker on the stitch I just made so I can know which stitch started my second round. Just put it, yeah. Now in this round we're going to increase 8. So we're going to add a second single crochet into this stitch, put it through that same stitch, take our yarn, pull it through, and then take our yarn, pull it through those two loops. Then we're going to do that all the way around. So let's see, how many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now we're just going to repeat the same thing in those next stitches. Now here in the next round we're going to be doing a single crochet and then an increase, and then repeating that pattern all the way around. So we're going to take our stitch marker off and then put our hook in through the next stitch, take our yarn, pull it through, take our yarn, pull it through those two loops, and then take our stitch marker put it through that stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So then do an increase, and then we just repeat that pattern, single crochet, So now for this row, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets and then an increase. So now, take off our stitch marker, single crochet in that next stitch, and put our stitch marker over here. Then we're going to be doing a second single crochet, and then an increase, and then we're just doing that all the way around. Now for row 5, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets and then an increase. So we just take off our stitch marker now, go through that next stitch, do a single crochet, and then put our stitch marker back, and then do a second single crochet, then a third single crochet, and then an increase. Then we're just doing that all the way around. Now for rows 6 and 7, we're just going to single crochet the entire row. So I will see you when that is done. So now we're back with our finished 2 rows. So now for row 8, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets and then a invisible decrease. So I'll show you how to do that. So first we're going to take off our stitch marker, go into that next stitch, do a single crochet, then put our stitch marker back, and then now we're doing our second single crochet and then our third single crochet, and then to do an invisible decrease you go into only the first loop of the next 2 stitches. So there's a front loop and a back loop. On the next stitch we're going through only the front loop and then the front loop of the stitch after that. Also, this is one of the stitches I provide in my first video, so you can go check that out if you like. So now we're going to take our yarn and pull through those 2 loops only, and then take our yarn, pull through those last 2 loops. And then we're repeating that pattern all the way around. So 3 single crochets and then an invisible decrease. Now you can take your stitch marker off, and then you can cut the yarn, and then you can take it out like this. And then we're gonna crochet a bottom piece. So to do that, you're just gonna repeat steps 1 through 5. Alright, so now that we're done crocheting the bottom piece of our cookie, now we're just gonna sew the chocolate chips onto the top part of our cookie. So we're just gonna cut a long strand of yarn. This is the yarn I'm going to be using to sew the chocolate chips, and we're gonna tie it to our darning needle. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the top part of our cookie and we're gonna go in between the 3rd and 2nd row from the bottom. So right here, just gonna pull that yarn through and then go right up here and then back to the bottom, and then back to the top, and then we're gonna go somewhere different now. So right over here, and that's our first chocolate chip. And now we're gonna do the same thing, go to the top, back to the bottom, and then back to the top, and then we go somewhere different. So right over here. And then we're doing this around the entire cookie. So go to a different spot, right over here. Go to the top, back to the Now, as I'm sewing this chocolate chip, I like to finish it off and then go right up here. And then just do the same thing. Go to the bottom, then the top. Then to the bottom again. And then over here at a different spot. And then just do the same thing. And then this is our last chocolate chip. Right over here. And then we're just gonna put our needle in as we finish this last chocolate chip. And then we're just going to cut this piece of yarn, and then we're gonna tie it to here, just like that. And those are your chocolate chips. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're going to sew the top part of the cookie to the bottom part of the cookie. So we're just going to first put the strands of yarn inside the cookie. Just kind of stuff it in there like that. And then we're going to cut a long strand of yarn. This is which is the color of the yarn that we used to make the cookie, and then we're just kind of going to start sewing. And then I like to just leave a tail of yarn and put it inside the cookie. And then we just kind of sew all the way around. Now here, you can just take like maybe a handful or two of yarn and just start just stuffing it a little bit while you're sewing the cookie. I just like to take bits of it and just start stuffing it just a little bit. Then I just continue sewing. Now we're almost done. And now we just kind of put our needle through and then put it at a different place, like over here. And then we just cut that strand of yarn. And that finishes up our cookie. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!